Ja, man! That's the what's up! That's what's up! That's what's up!
Driving around with us.
Bro.
I love the experience.
Bus? Bus.
Taxi trains, electric, move people fast.
We wanted raw.
Stimela success legacy. Welcome to South Africa, a country that has gone through so much but still strives for better every single day. In fact, it's a country of some of the brightest and most innovative minds, where things like the automatic pool cleaning creepy crawly were invented. The breakwater doloso that protect our coastlines, those were invented here. And of course, who can forget that the very first heart transplant performed by Dr. Christian Barnard, that all happened right here in Mzansi. Hi, my name is Katlego Maboe and I'm in Cape Town, South Africa, to find out how innovative the mother city's transport systems are and what's really the best way to get around on your daily commute. So come and join me for the ride and let's find out. Stimela samsa sesola. Morning, morning, morning.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine and you?
Good, thank you. Over 10 years of being a taxi driver, man. And how did you start? What made you decide that you wanted to be a taxi driver?
I had a license, I couldn't get a job. It was the easiest way out to get money.
Okay. So because, I mean, obviously the employment situation in South Africa is...
It was a little down here on the time.
Yeah. So what did you do? Who did you approach?
I was at home and a lot of guys that knew I got license. They just came to me and said, why are you sitting here? Then you can just come there, have a fun day driving around with us. I just took a drive with him. Afterwards, I was the one behind the steering.
Yeah?
Ever since, I've been behind the steering.
You're going to stop in Belleville.
Mm-hmm. Belleville taxi rank.
Belleville taxi rank. And then on the way to?
Stellenbosch.
How important are taxis to you then?
They're very important.
Yeah?
They are cheap and reliable. Better than trains. Let me say it rather like that.
I hear you. No.
Yeah.
Just tell me your truth, because I was actually talking to Lindsay right now about the differences between taxis and trains, especially from a safety point of view. Which do you prefer?
I prefer taxis.
And why is that?
Because I think most times in trains, it's so packed that you don't know who's behind you. It's just not a nice environment to have.
What about buses? Have you ever considered that as a mode of transport?
Because I'm so used to taxis, I prefer taking it because I can just get out of my house, take a taxi.
Yes.
But with a bus, there are times. So if you miss the time or you don't know the time, you may miss it. But with a taxi, at least it's like 16 passengers.
Yes.
You kind of know your driver by now because you take the same route every day. So there's that aspect to it. Other than that, I love the experience.
Yeah, because I mean, hanging out with Lindsay and with Gregory here as well, I'm getting that, the energy, the experience is
very
exciting.
friendly.
Yeah, right? It's gonna be alright. Say you don't worry. Every little thing is gonna be alright. If you had a choice of any other job that you could do in the world, would you still be choosing to be a taxi driver?
No, not for my family's sake, because my family actually don't want me on the taxis. But me, I'm getting a living out here for them to eat. I can feed them so long.
Yeah.
So it's fine for me until I get a new job or a permanent job.
When you say your family doesn't want you to be a taxi driver?
Yeah, because a lot of stuff happens to taxis. A lot of stuff. People fight with taxis, gang violence along the road, but not actually on this road, but where the area where I live in, there's also taxis. Now, I must go home with my van. So they check now, this guy, he drive here, he pick up our people. He's taking our money out of this place.
So it's a territory thing?
Yeah, territory things also, yeah.
Drivers are dependent on how much money they can bring in. The more money they can make, the more money they can bring to the operators, but also more money they can make for themselves. So now this encourages actually things such as reckless driving, overloading, because the operating environment, is such that it's the survival of the fittest. So that is the biggest challenge, which we think if we ever get to a point where the industry is subsidized, so you could then immediately remove that element of chasing profits.
How would you see that system working? So government would intervene by offering a subsidy to Santaco that it would then disseminate towards the association. Explain that model to me.
We have experimented with it here in the Western Cape and it worked. And it was not just a subsidy, it was also a way of monitoring our drivers, checking on driver behavior. Are they sticking to their routes? And are they driving properly? Harsh braking, harsh cornering, all those kind of things, because there were technologies installed in all the vehicles that participated in that program. So there was real-time monitoring. And not only that, it also provided an element of safety for our commuters.
Look, I can't come to a taxi rank and not drive a taxi. So Mr. Hermanos has set me a challenge to see whether I can pull out a taxi and then bring it back Ellie docking style. And he's going to time me and see how I do. If I were to be a taxi driver, who knows? There might be a future for me. Assam.
Let's see.
Safety first, Machita. Passengers, seat belts. Okay. So you need to be aware of so many different things.
And also people.
People, other taxis. Sanguna, you Sanguna pan. Okay, center liquor. Come on, get in. Organize.
You can take a loan.
No, man, it's fine. I did the thing, so apparently I qualified. The driving skills are on point. I just need a PDP.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the office.
And then you're good to go.
How do you get from home to your work?
By bus.
By bus, right?
Yeah.
And how long does it usually take you to get from home to work?
2 hours, hour, 30 minutes.
That's
Bus?
a long time.
Very.
Taxi are more quicker.
Okay.
They get me to work as early as I can.
I use the My City Pass. It's about a 40 minutes drive, and then I get here to work.
I'm taking taxi to work every day. If I had a choice, if I can have my own car.
The train is cheaper than it takes because we used to travel, get trains, phone.
What happened to the trains that you used to travel on?
Katlego Maboe that's bill. So I tell you, price we are fail. asakwazi ukuphinda sisebenzisa itrain. Then kuthiwa khona zibuya ngoku kodwa. Asingene eteksini. Not choice mos. Angamasithini.
But I heard something about even though I'm a trainer corner, as it goes safe.
No. Abantu bayatshayela phaya. Some people they smoke inside.
And that's not
And they rob us inside.
What would you say to the mayor of Cape Town to let him hear your concern?
They must bring securities inside with us. Yeah.
So more security.
Yeah, security.
And then
for our safety.
Yeah.
Because we are passengers. We pay the like Bababu say train back. Then go golden arrow things a bit cheap.
A metro rail train is on fire in Cape Town.
Another train has been consumed by fire in Cape Town.
Of course, it affects tens of thousands of working class people.
Walking alongside these railway tracks, I'm reminded of Brahu Masikela's song Istimela Sihamba Ngamalahle, which was a song that spoke about trains that transported men as they sought work to feed their families coming from various parts of Africa. And as I'm exploring this story about the transport mix in the city of Cape Town, I think about the daily commute of parents and people and that are trying to feed their families and creating a future for them. And alas, this picture that we see behind me paints a less than desirable state of what is in terms of the railway line. Of course, there are a few issues that Cape Town has faced when it comes to its railway system. The Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa has found itself in very challenging times, most recently having fired its former CEO for the third time. That doesn't exactly inspire confidence in terms of the stability of the organization. There's been massive issues with the vandalization of these key resources in what they're doing. Of course, the peak in fires that ravaged carriages in 2018 and 2019 that caused loads of money, millions in loss. And the question of how does it all get back to its optimum state? How does the entire transport mix of the mother city get back to where it needs to be in order to allow this beautiful city to be that gateway to Africa that people hope it can be?
Where tensions start to fill in is that all of the modes that we have, whether it's bus, whether it is train, minibus taxi, e-hailing, is that they're all competing for a finite pool. Where do people live? Where do people work? Where do they access opportunities to amenities, to health and to schooling as well? At the end of the day, our role is to ensure that wherever people reside and where they need to commute to, that we ensure that there are at least options available to them, which means that our planners would have had to intervene and to see how can we move people in the fastest, most efficient way.
There's this phrase that says no DNA, just RSA, and it's used to describe something or someone that is 100% proudly South African. And this three-wheeled 100% electric vehicle is exactly such a product. It is made by a company called MellowVans, and they are an innovative disruptor in the mobility sector, charging the way forward into what is possibly the future of an economy that has not yet been quite tapped into in the South African market. And today I have the opportunity to meet with the founder of MellowVans, Neil Dupree, who will tell me a bit more about his story and how this could really be paving the way forward into a brighter future. Neil.
Katlego.
Oh, what an experience, bro.
Glad you enjoyed it, man.
That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fantastic to meet you.
Likewise.
And especially after having had my very first ride in one of your inventions and what is proving to be quite a disruptor in the mobility space, right?
Absolutely.
So talk to me about MellowVans and where this idea started from.
Yeah, well, after university, I spent some time living in the Far East. And then obviously the agents have been using small electric vehicles for ages. we came back to South Africa and thought, well, we can do it better.
Yeah.
So basically that's where we started. It's a 10-year process to get where we're now.
Wow. How did it all progress?
Yeah, Katlego, that basically is it starts basically in your own garage where you start drawing things and you play around with little machines. That then evolved basically to a small university project, which then got funded, luckily. Through that funding process, we could actually build a few prototypes. And then basically snowballed to where we are now, building 4 vehicles a day, exporting to Europe.
Wow. If I'm an entrepreneur and I'm watching this at home, what would be some of the ideas I could cotton onto where I could use one of these MellowVans in a business?
Well, I think you start by looking at the cost of operating a vehicle like this. In South Africa, we run at 15 South African cents a kilometer. So that really is a massive difference compared to a normal internal combustion engine.
Right.
Then you can start thinking about different delivery options, delivering parcels, groceries, medicine, pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast food.
Are they easy to charge, by the way?
Super easy to charge. Every vehicle has a built-in charger. So you just plug it into the normal wall socket and the vehicle will charge.
That's actually amazing. I think I'm going to start, scrambling around for some ideas.
Yeah.
You might have a customer in me soon.
Indeed. Brilliant.
By the way, how much can you really fit into one of these MellowVans?
Well, in terms of capacity, we've got 2.5 cubic meters of space. So that's more than enough for anything you want to deliver in a last mile environment. From groceries to even a baby elephant in the back.
I like that you mentioned that because I've got a team behind the scenes and I want to see if I could help them fit into that.
Yeah, let's learn.
One by one. Let's see. That's one. That's 3. Wow. That's 4.
That's a big one.
See what I did there? I think we can make one more. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. Now, I wonder if would it be able to close? Guys, I just want to see whether it can. Don't worry, it's okay. Don't panic, everyone's fine. That's absolutely amazing, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
How long are we going to be here?
Anyone here claustrophobic?
I'm very claustrophobic.
Oh, really?
So
Smallest spot.
Okay,
I'm going to have a hip cramp in a second. Hang in there. There's plenty of headroom.
So far on my journey, I've learned about the different modes of transport within the city of Cape Town, the challenges that they face, and of course, the innovations at hand. But right now, I've got a bit of a surprise for you, a certain spin to the story.
I've been a Ford cop all my life. I put a 350 Nissan engine in it. It's also a V6 anti-U. It's a nickname of my mother. She was always with me everywhere I went.
And look, when I'm talking about spinning, I'm literally referring to the sport of spinning made famous by this very vehicle here and its driver, the very well-known Mr. Eddie Rasta. How are you doing, brother man?
Good, good. Nice to have you here in my ghetto. We wanted raw. It must look out of control, but we're actually in control.
I came all the way here and I was really hoping that you could teach me how to spin. Is it possible for someone like me to learn how to spin?
You know, if you know the basics of a car, if you can drive, you can keep the steering straight. Spinning is not keeping it straight, keeping it sideways. So if you can drive a car, you can do what you must do.
Well, let's get inside and let's see what this is all about.
Nah,
come on.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
The more acceleration you give on it, it makes so it can slip. Both wheels can
Yes,
turn.
yeah. So
but
you want to
if
get
you
the...
slow, the one is pushing and the other one is like pulling.
Yeah.
So it does that. So the car won't be able to move unless you give acceleration on it. Right? Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
I need to get used to that. Yeah. Is it in?
Yeah. Full lock, full lock. Yeah, right. Bum, 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 bum.
Ja, man! Ja, man! That's the what's up? That's what's up! That's what's up! Wat zijn die mensen? Nee, dat is gewoon. Dat is gewoon. Yeah. Woo! That is amazing! My bro. Yes, you've unlocked a level in me, man. That is amazing. I feel like I've reached another level of being in unto you, so
Yeah, no. And it's not everybody that drives my car. I'm the only driver.
That's very special. I really appreciate that. Yo, my heart klopt nou. Check out. Yeah!
You did it, well done.
Yeah, well done.
Let's talk about that a little bit, right? Because one of the people was telling me that every time that your car engine switches on, the entire community comes together.
Yeah. As you can see, even now, this is only the guys, the people that in my community that always stands by me. But the main thing is the kids. They're actually now in school.
Yeah.
The kids are more than these people standing around here. The people are standing around here now. It's only a handful. You must see when this car starts and the kids are out of school. It is like, on their faces, if I burst a tire and the cars are standing there and light is from maybe like a kilometer away from here, it's coming and running here and the tire is already flat. It makes my heart so broken. I have to tell my guys, put on other tires so we can go spin again. Because the community in my area, they love spinning. I never had a complaint from anyone, from the oldest to the youngest, even here.
One of your brothers was just telling me that, kids learn how to become mechanics because they see you building the cars.
As you can see in the area and the community we live in, gangsterism is high, crime rate is high here. And sometimes the police captain, he comes to me, he told me one day that I'm the peacekeeper here.
Wow.
So I asked him why, because he said, yeah, when you spin your car, everybody's watching you and there's no gang fight, nothing going on as long as you spin this car, and especially with our kids around here, they have nothing to do, There's no facility for our young kids to, and especially a role model to look up to, to progress in life. And so they do it to me because I am a mechanic around here. Everybody knows me as Eddie Rasta, and especially the kids. My mother teaches me one thing about small lighties. They have a bigger future as we as adults, and so the sooner we can groom them to become something in life, they will take, they will do and follow you if it's right in their eyes, and especially the community around, the lighties, they love spinning.
Well, what an interesting, eye-opening and head-spinning journey it's been around the city of Cape Town. And I've learned, of course, like any other society, there are challenges and many different parties need to hold hands together to make it work. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You've heard it from the people we've spoken to, and hopefully you can share some of your ideas, how you think it can all be made to work better. It's been a pleasure being on this journey with you. My name is Katlego Maboe, and thank you for joining us on DW's Engine Africa. Until next time, have a safe journey.